automaker unveils a no-frills stripped-down electric truck with an eye-catching price. Slate Auto, backed by billionaire Jeff Bezos and two other investors, says its goal is to build cars for working-class Americans.
Nobody expected this. Not Ford, not Tesla, and definitely not the analysts who thought the EV market was locked up for good. For years, the same brands dominated the conversation, selling overpriced promises disguised as innovation. But now, the silence is over. 6 months ago, there was no Slate Auto, no Jeff Bezos in the EV arena. Just names like Tesla, Rivian, and Ford circling the spotlight. But since the 24th of April 2025, the entire electric vehicle world has spiraled into meltdown mode. A company no one even Googled a few months back is now front and center in every automaker's crisis meeting, holding the blueprint to a truck that just rewrote the rules of what a vehicle should be. But here's what really sent the industry into lockdown mode. Slate didn't just launch an idea. They launched a fully built, real-world, road-ready electric truck that costs less than half of what Elon charges for his stainless steel showpiece. And this wasn't a soft launch. Within weeks, over 100,000 people reserved one, with just $50 down. No showroom, no hype beast campaign, just raw demand from regular Americans who saw a chance to finally break into a market that's spent the last decade pricing them out. And that truck? It's not in some endless prototype phase. It's real, it's tested, and production begins in 2026. And on top of it all, what Slate did next revealed something far bigger than the truck itself. Yes, I'm talking about Slate shattering the illusion the entire EV industry was built on. Because while Slate was quietly engineering disruption, the rest of the electric vehicle world was busy playing a very different game. The average new vehicle in America now costs $48,000. Let that settle. Then remember that the average American makes just $55,000 a year. That's not sustainable. That's predatory. Tesla's Cybertruck starts at $80,000. Rivian's R1T comes in at $70,000. Even Ford's so-called working-class Lightning starts at $60,000. These aren't commuter vehicles. They're designer tech gadgets with wheels, built for upper-income households and corporate fleets, not working families. The electric vehicle space has become a padded showroom of bloated features, selling spectacle instead of service. Take a walk through any EV brochure, and you'll see the same script. 64-color ambient lighting that changes with your mood, touchscreen dashboards bigger than most TVs, and yes, literal fart apps baked into the software. Meanwhile, the drivetrain is overpowered, the suspension is under-tested, and your first repair bill will arrive faster than the vehicle itself. These aren't trucks. They're profit machines disguised as lifestyle accessories. They're packed with failure points, engineered obsolescence, and luxury bloat few people asked for, but everyone is forced to pay for. And that's exactly what Slate saw. The entire system operated like a scam, and their response was deliberate, calculated, and impossible for the industry to ignore. Because it was unbelievable to witness a fully electric truck with real horsepower, highway-ready range, and rugged build quality priced lower than a 10-year-old used Honda Civic. But that's exactly what Slate Auto has unleashed into the market. Their base model truck costs just $20,000 before any federal incentives. After applying available U.S. tax credits, some buyers could walk away with keys in hand for as little as $13,000. That's not a lease, not a gimmick, and not a shell company hiding hidden fees. It's a real price for a real vehicle, and it's backed by the most sophisticated logistics empire in the world, Amazon. It's not some overhyped prototype hidden behind press releases. Amazon backed this truck that has already racked up over 100,000 reservations. It's real, it's tested, and it's designed to strike at the core of everything the auto industry has spent decades protecting. So if you thought electric vehicles were locked away for the wealthy, you're about to see how fast that entire illusion comes crashing down. When the announcement first dropped, people dismissed it as marketing fluff. Social media skeptics wrote it off as vaporware. Industry insiders called it a PR stunt. But then Amazon's name surfaced in the financial filings. Then the pre-orders started climbing. Then the specs hit the press. And suddenly, all the laughter stopped. Because it wasn't just real. It was better than half the overpriced EVs already on the market. And the most damning part? Slate proved it could be done for less than the cost of a used Civic with 140,000 miles and 3 previous owners. According to Kelley Blue Book, the average price of a used car in America has climbed above $27,000 as of 2025. A used 2015 Honda Civic LX, with basic features and no warranties left, still fetches anywhere between $12,000 and $16,000 depending on mileage and location. That's the price range Slate's electric truck just undercut. Except this isn't a worn-down compact sedan from a decade ago. It's a zero-emissions utility vehicle with a modular body, customizable platform, and a battery pack that charges from 20% to 80% in under 30 minutes. It comes with a fresh warranty, modern engineering, and a manufacturing roadmap that begins full-scale production in late 2026. Slate didn't just beat the competition, they undercut the entire game. Slate skipped dealerships entirely and eliminated the entire showroom experience. There are no commission-driven salespeople, no finance office pressure, and no hidden charges waiting at the end of the process. Buyers order the truck online, customize their accessories online, and receive the vehicle directly at their address without ever stepping onto a lot. There are no dealer markups, no $699 documentation fees, and no $1,495 destination charges quietly added to the bill. The price listed is the final price paid, and that single decision cuts thousands from the cost before the engine even starts. It's literally a threat to every revenue stream the auto industry depends on. Dealerships thrive on back-end profits. They rely on finance markups, protection packages, extended warranties, and trade-in manipulation to stay afloat. But Slate's direct-to-consumer model eliminates every one of those channels. They're not trying to feed the machine. They're removing the machine entirely. And with Amazon handling the fulfillment network, delivery system, and e-commerce backend, there's no need to rebuild infrastructure from scratch. It already exists, and it's already running faster than anything Ford or GM could build in-house. And if you think this is some kind of fraud or a viral gimmick pulled from thin air, you're not alone. Because the way they've managed the pricing is nothing short of remarkable. Their first move was to eliminate the paint shop entirely. No factory spray booths, no robotic arms coating vehicles in 15 shades of metallic illusion. Paint shops are one of the most expensive parts of vehicle production, costing manufacturers upwards of $350 million just to install. Slate chose a single color, gray. Not as a branding stunt, but because the body panels are designed to be wrapped. Want blue? Wrap it. Want camo? Wrap it. Want flames? Do it yourself in 30 minutes. That one decision cut nearly $500 million from their overhead. Then they tore out the infotainment system. No giant screen eating the dashboard, no buggy proprietary interface pretending to be smarter than your phone. Every Slate truck comes with a universal mount and a USB power source. You bring the phone, you bring the apps, and you already know how to use it. That's $2,000 saved on each unit, and more importantly, one less thing that will glitch, crash, or require an over-the-air patch 6 months after purchase. Power windows were replaced with manual cranks, cutting $800 per truck and eliminating one of the most frequent failure points that dealerships quietly profit from. Window motors no longer burn out, regulators no longer break, and surprise repair bills are no longer part of the equation. The same logic applies throughout the entire design. There is no carpet to trap stains or moisture, no leather that cracks in the sun and inflates the price tag, and no powered tailgate that moves slower than your arm and fails when it's needed most. These are not downgrades. They are precise removals of unnecessary components that the auto industry uses to inflate prices. And despite this stripped-down approach, the Slate truck is no lightweight. It delivers 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque, outperforming the original Ford F-150 Lightning from the 1990s. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in 8 seconds and reaches a top speed of 90 miles per hour, more than enough for highways, job sites, and the everyday driving needs of working Americans. Buyers have a choice between 2 battery configurations. The base model comes with a 52.7 kilowatt-hour pack that delivers 150 miles of range. For those who need more, there's an 84.3 kilowatt-hour option with a range of up to 240 miles. That's not speculation or marketing spin. Those numbers are real, practical, and grounded in how people actually drive. The average American commutes about 37 miles per day, meaning even the base model offers 4 full days of use before requiring a charge. And when it does need power, Slate uses the NACS charging port, the same standard adopted by Tesla. With 120 kilowatt fast charging support, the battery can be recharged from 20% to 80% in under 30 minutes. And hey, if you think the stripped-down design would make people turn away in silence, you might need to hear this. Over 100,000 pre-orders have already sent shockwaves through every major auto boardroom from Detroit to Silicon Valley. On Reddit, YouTube, and Twitter, the reaction is loud and clear. This is the truck regular people have been waiting for.